There's a new concern over E. coli now. More than 160,000 pounds of fresh and frozen ground beef products shipped to restaurants nationwide are now being recalled due to a potential contamination.
In Detroit. Symptoms began between November 2nd and the 10th, and this is the same strain linked to that McDonald's onion case. Wolverine Packing is the name of the company that distributed this meat.
Feels like we've been talking about E. coli for months now, Christine. What can you tell us about this latest recall?
Important information for consumers about their food safety. We're talking about 165,000 pounds of ground beef, 15 cases in Minnesota, and investigators there linked it back to a distributor.
What if I told you the biggest grocery chains in America are running their meat departments like a battlefield with no rules?
Rivaling Regency Meat Packers is recalling several beef products because they may contain E. coli. The beef came from Ontario, Canada, and was exported to several U.S. states, including Pennsylvania.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture is warning people about ground beef that may be contaminated with E. coli. The beef was sold in 1-pound vacuum-packed packages labeled Organic Rancher, Organic Ground Beef.
Walmart's ground beef turning brown, Kroger's rotation theater hiding week-old cuts, Safeway relabeling yesterday's meat as tomorrow's dinner. You think you're buying fresh food, but you're actually walking into a hidden war zone where profit outranks safety every time. This isn't an accident. It's systemic and deliberate.
Ground beef products that may be contaminated. The government has issued an alert about meat from the Greater Omaha Packing Company. Some of it has tested positive for E. coli. The beef was produced last month with a freeze-by date of yesterday.
Some of the products include ShopRite hamburgers and Landis brand beef patties. We have a complete list of the affected products and their produced on dates on kdka.com/recalls.
So the real question is, how safe is the meat sitting in your fridge right now? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video.
This meat was sent mostly to restaurants, we think, so the concern among food safety officials is it could still be in freezers.
Yeah, I was going to say, or even, people freeze their meat, you get a good price, you freeze it.
Absolutely, and this is what they say. They've notified all customers that receive the product. They're going to conduct an intensive internal review to fully figure out where it went and make sure that they have the highest standards of production.
So how do you know? Is there
absolutely.
a lot number or something?
Yep, so these are going to be with a use-by date of November 14th, so look at that on the packaging. These are frozen products with an October 22 production date. That's according to the USDA.
How fresh can meat really be when the only scorecard that matters is pounds moved per day? That's the foundation of Walmart's entire food supply chain. Not lowest bacteria counts, not peak freshness, just volume. Fill every shelf, keep the cases stacked high, and move it out the door before anyone asks the wrong questions. It sounds efficient, but efficiency comes at a hidden cost. And that cost is carried on the plate in front of you. The business model drives suppliers into overdrive. Contracts go to the lowest bidder, whoever can promise speed along with volume. That means livestock raised fast, processed quick, boxed and shipped with every second shaved down. For store managers, the objective isn't careful inspection. It's full displays. End caps show abundance.
You can go to the USDA and FDA website just to make sure that if you are a business owner and you think you have this in your freezers, you need to get rid of this. And this is about 100 plus fresh and frozen ground beef products. We're talking brands like 1855 Beef, Davis Creek Meals, Farmer's Choice. You can see them all there.
Coolers look loaded. At first glance, the scene signals security, but security here is an illusion. Beneath that mountain of red and pink packaging lies another story. Shipments sometimes arrive with edges already darkening, proof that the clock on freshness has been ticking well before customers see it. The official answer: blend it in. Stack older cuts with newer arrivals, reshuffle the shelf, and hide fatigue under a mask of abundance. It's the same tactical trick an army might use after heavy losses: reform the line, stand soldiers shoulder to shoulder, and hope no one notices the weakness until it's too late. Now factor in temperature. Cooling systems aren't always holding the line. Investigators found meat sitting at 48 degrees. That number should jolt you. It's not just above the safe threshold, it's right in the kill zone where bacteria grows the fastest. Imagine an enemy setting up camp inside your own defenses, left unchecked, gathering strength hour by hour. That's what happens in that range. Invisible armies multiplying inside every tray of ground beef or chicken breast. And on the cutting boards, a different kind of threat. Cuts from different animals, chicken, beef, pork, all moved across the same thin surface. No reset, no proper sanitation. Just a quick rinse, a dash of water, and the next product laid straight on top. To anyone trained in combat, it's like passing one rifle down a line of soldiers without cleaning it after each round. The buildup doesn't disappear. It compounds. Every rinse leaves residue small enough to hide, large enough to harm. Workers describe the cleaning process with a blunt phrase, a quick rinse and a prayer. That's not discipline. That's desperation. When shifts run short on time and managers push for speed, proper sanitation becomes an afterthought. The invisible traces remain, microbes hidden in tiny scratches of the equipment, waiting to be carried on to the next cut. It's a breakdown in procedure repeated across dozens of tasks in a day. One lapse becomes a chain reaction, and a chain reaction in food safety is how outbreaks begin. Think of it like a battlefield where weapons are never decontaminated between missions. Every rifle, every vehicle, every helmet comes back from the fight covered in residue and remains. Then, without pause, it's sent right back out again. The contamination builds, spreads, and by the time the damage is noticed, the cost is catastrophic. That systemic neglect mirrors what happens when the focus is always on speed. This isn't one rogue store breaking rules. It's not a single employee cutting corners. It's the natural, predictable outcome of a system that values high turnover above safe handling. The machine prioritizes speed. The soldiers on the ground, those stocking shelves, those cutting meat, must keep pace with the pressure. Corners aren't cut by choice. They're cut because the model leaves no other option. So when you see discounts and packages piled high, the truth is less about savings and more about risk displacement. The price is shifted forward, into homes, into families, into the bodies of those who trust what they bring back from the store. This is not random error. It is built into the supply chain itself, as steady and ruthless as any adversary. If Walmart's trap is speed over safety, what happens when other grocery giants learn new tactics? Not just pushing meat out the door, but disguising aged product as if it were premium and fresh. That next evolution raises its own kind of danger. Cheap meat looks like victory at the register. But the hidden cost unfolds later, on your table, in your kitchen, inside your body. That is the frontline truth. When price cuts drive the battle plan, safety becomes collateral damage. Volume replaces vigilance. Shelves look full, but every package carries the same risk as unwashed gear returning from combat. The chain reaction doesn't stop in the store. It advances into your home, into every meal. This is the story of food turned battlefield. Subscribe and join a community determined to map these hidden conflicts, from actual war zones to the food chain.